Hey everybody, Kale here. Welcome back to the channel. It's good to be back. I know I had a little bit of a break there, and we were doing the life thing, and we are back at it, still doing the life thing, and hopefully sinking into more regular routine again, my regular posting schedule. So we're back at it. Before we get into today's reading, I do have a brief announcement. I am very excited to share that I have launched a new offering. It is called Asked and Answered, and it is a tarot-inspired contemplative guide for relationship clarity. Okay, and there are 7 different sections, if you will. Okay, and each one is rooted in a card. So I did a card reading, a card spread for this guide, and that served as the basis, the foundation for the guide itself, for the questions that I ended up writing for each section. So some sections are just some cards just have the reflective questions that I wrote, and other sections have a little bit from the guidebooks in addition to the questions that I wrote. So there are 61 questions in total, spread across the 7 different contemplations, and it's really for anyone seeking any relationship clarity with any type of relationship. The nature of the questions, I'd say, predominantly lend themselves easily to a romantic partnership or a dating relationship. That said, very easily the questions are transferable to, that could be, you know, seeking clarity with a friendship, a familial relationship. It could be an activity or community or experience that you're having in your life. So your relationship to that person, place, thing, community, habit, whatever it is, anything you're in relationship to, anyone you're in relationship to, those questions could be read through that lens as well. And I think naturally you would see where they might be slightly tweaked. But it's great for people who have been feeling off or stewing a bit, or you know, really thinking a lot and reflecting a lot around a particular relationship in their life that they're just trying to figure out what to do with, and maybe it's whether or not to continue it, whether or not to pursue it, what's really going on in the dynamic that just seems like not quite right, or perhaps misaligned or confusing or unclear. Anything like that, this guide, I assure you, to the best of my ability, to assure you as best as I can without 100% perfection or conviction, or not conviction, perfection, I think will provide you a tremendous amount of clarity. And if it does not, in fact, if it does not, I am offering you a free 30-minute reading. That is how sure I am about the clarity that you will receive from this guide. All right, and if that it does come to that, I will just ask that you send me your answers to the questions, and we'll figure it out. We won't go there yet. We don't need to. But the link, you'll see the link below in the video, and you can explore that. Highly recommended. I'm stoked about it. I think it's great, and just excited to see how everyone experiences that. So check that out. $17. 61 questions, relationship clarity. So I think it's a pretty good deal. So, all right, let's dive into the reading today for your contemplations and sortings out. Sortings out. All right, so this particular reading has an emphasis towards the person who is at their wit's end. They have reached the end of themselves. They don't know what to do. They have thought about it, prayed about it, talked it out, tried to solve it and find the solution, and you're still finding yourself just incredibly frustrated, stuck, not quite sure what direction to move in. Okay, so that's the orientation for this reading. That's the intention, and who it's for. So if you're not experiencing anything like that, may not be for you. May not be for you, but you're welcome to stick around and see what you can extract at the very least. So the anchoring card that we pulled to give us context here, and it's just a 2-card pull. All right, we're gonna start it off with the World card. That's the card that was pulled. Okay, the World. Beautiful, beautiful card. This comes from Tarot of the Woodland Wardens, gifted to me by my sweetie, and it is just absolutely beautiful illustrations by Jessica Roux. Okay, so we've got the World card, all right, and a few mentions on the World card, okay. I'm going to go ahead and I'll actually start with the book itself. As the last card of the major arcana, the World celebrates the completion of the Fool's journey. While a new one waits just around the corner, now is the time to acknowledge accomplishments and reflect on the winding road this adventure has taken. In this card, a dragonfly soars effortlessly across a clear blue sky. A creature of elegance and balance, she is surrounded by the symbols of the minor arcana: the wand, the cup, the arrow, and the pentacle. Having wielded every tool at her disposal, she has mastered all of them. A wreath of greenery surrounds her, its ends tied by red ribbons in the shape of lemniscates, I don't know, or infinity symbols, there we go, signifying that when one journey ends, a new one begins. And we did pull this card in upright, and the meaning that Jessica assigns to that is: a long journey has come to an end, you've skillfully handled the ups and downs, and you are ready for whatever comes next. Which I imagine if you are at your wit's end, you might be thinking, no, I have not skillfully handled these ups and downs. But let's look at that a little bit further, okay? And a few questions that she asks is: will achieving my goals bring me happiness? And how has my journey shaped who I am today? Okay, so a few questions for reflection and contemplation there. Will achieving my goals bring me happiness? How has my journey shaped who I am today? And I think leaning into that first question, we're going to come back around to that. All right. In Hermetic Kabbalah, in that version of tarot, we see the World card as the completion of an evolutionary cycle. It's the seal of fulfillment, the final integration of pattern into embodiment. It brings the psychic blueprint into fully realized earthly form. Okay, it is incarnation completed, pattern made manifest, the dance of wholeness embodied. All right, it says the world is not just success, it is the sealing of the work. Okay, it is the feeling of having become more fully yourself through what you have lived. All right, and the soul lesson associated with this card is: completion is a spiritual act. You must allow yourself to inhabit what has been achieved. And then the spiritual initiation for this card is embodying wholeness rather than seeking it elsewhere. Okay, and we're going to come back to that as well. Embodying wholeness rather than seeking it elsewhere. All right. And so our companion card alongside that, and by that I mean that was the other card that was pulled. Not that there's a specific companion card that I'm aware of to the World, at least when it comes to the Woodland Wardens, though I suppose Oracle deck that is, though perhaps based on the number alone there might be. But we're not going to go into that because that's not what this reading is about. The card that we pulled was the Goat and Willow. All right, and again, and this is the Oracle deck that's actually like a companion deck in and of itself to the tarot. But yes, the Goat and Willow, and this is the card of overcoming obstacles. I'd say that sounds pretty good, pretty right for somebody at their wit's end. Most definitely. So let's dive into this. And we did actually pull this in reverse. So I will read the reversal message, okay? But I'll leave it upright for you just so you can see it. But I'll read the overall message as well. The goat is a symbol of balance. Balance was also just read in the Woodland, in the tarot card for the World. The goat is a symbol of balance, jumping with ceaseless energy, perching easily on even the narrowest footholds. Its vitality and grace are enviable. The willow is a symbol of mourning, often appearing on gravestones. In Greek mythology, willows are said to mark the entrance to the underworld. When combined, the goat and willow show us that there may be losses to suffer, but we can overcome them with renewed energy and right balance. Okay, and the reversal message on this is: you may be feeling off kilter. The negative energy in your life may threaten to overcome you. Let the spirit of the goat lead you to a sense of harmony. Remember that life is a balance. We cannot appreciate pleasure without experiencing pain. And then the questions that Jessica asks are: how can I better achieve balance in my life? How can I plan ahead to navigate the obstacles in my path? And we're really going to lean into that balance aspect, is what really stuck out to me here. And so leaning a little bit further into it, obviously Jessica asks, you know, what can I do to achieve more balance in my life? And I ask you also, you know, like, where specifically, and where in your life do you need more balance? What areas of your life can you feel that more balance, where more balance is required? Okay. What is one step that you can take today to bring greater balance, greater order, greater stability, greater clarity or ease into your world, into your life, into some area? Just one small step. And often, you know, I ask that, and I feel that so often we do have a sense, we do have an intuitive sense of something major or minor that we can shift, that we can take a step towards. We may not like it, which is why we might feel confused, because we might be resisting something. But often there is something, even if it's, you know, I'm gonna take 5 minutes actually, or 10 minutes, and I'm just gonna sit. I'm gonna breathe. I'm gonna go to this. Or I'm gonna put on headphones and I'm just gonna listen to a couple songs. Like, whatever you need, it can be as simple as that. To just have a moment of greater inner peace and inner harmony, and bring and restore that balance into your life. Okay, that coherence. All right. A few other questions that I'd like to ask you. You know, if I was honest with myself about one place where I could surrender, move, or do something differently, what would it be? Okay, what would it be? What am I avoiding? What do I not want to admit? Or also phrased differently, like, what do I know to be true but I don't want to admit? All right. So sitting with some of those questions and letting that sink in may provide or illuminate something that can bring your life more into balance. And it may very well be that thing you don't want it to be. It may be the thing that you've been kind of procrastinating on, or holding off on, or not feeling ready for, or just really resistant towards, that like deep in your gut, you're like, yeah, I know this is the thing I have to do, or the move I have to make. I don't want to do it. I'm going crazy because I'm trying to find any other solution besides this one. And so often, like, that's the one that we actually need to do, and to move forward with, you know. And I've experienced this in my own life, that sometimes I can just the other day even, like, get really frustrated, or kind of just like feel stuck, and recognize that something else actually is more of the priority, or like there's an action step to take before that, where it's like, oh wait, this other thing comes first. And when I go do that other thing, I end up having movement or clarity. Sometimes those things are related, but there was another first step, and other times they might be unrelated. But I don't know, the universe kind of knows, right? Like, nature knows the order of things, the most natural order, the way to move, to provide that peace and harmony and balance. And so sometimes it can just be an ordering situation, and it's not about to like really labor in the mind over and over about, okay, well, what thing then will I do first to create that? We know is the thing. Like, if we sit for a second, we give ourselves that space, and we enter that space of stillness with understanding that we do actually already know and have the answer, like, and it can be, and to have the openness that, like, hold on, just in my life in general right now, what's actually like the most important thing, or just the thing that needs to happen? What's like, what have I been avoiding that I need to move forward with? And that may be, again, unrelated to what you've most currently been focusing on, but at least tangentially they probably are related. So anyway, I won't belabor the point any further, but sitting with some of that, I think could be really helpful. And then going back to the world card, around that spiritual initiation of embodying wholeness rather than seeking it elsewhere, could that also be the aspect that's pulling you off center? If you're going outside or seeking that wholeness elsewhere, that is going to pull you off center, and that's going to create an imbalance. So is there somewhere in your life, in some area, in some form or fashion, where it really is coming back home to yourself? It really is allowing, like, the outside voices to take a step back and to have some space there, to restore your own inner knowing, your inner coherence, and what is right and true for your life at this present moment in whatever areas or directions are necessary. And so, you know, when we're fixated so much out there and moving in different directions in that way, we could be really getting ourselves off center. And so going in and letting us move from the inside out, you know, as not new probably for most people watching this, that concept, of course, but again, I say that very specifically in the context of balance, of that inner balance, and bringing yourself back to center and into that place of wholeness. Okay, so I hope that there is something in this for you, that it could provide a little bit of something to help with feeling that you're at your wit's end, and just to provide a little bit of relief there, and a little bit of hope that there is movement, because there is this, the life is dynamic. It is not static, and even in moments that it seems to be that way, the movement will happen, the change will occur. And oftentimes that static, stuck, icky mucky place is that birthplace. I go back to the lotus flower that grows in such mucky, difficult conditions, and it just blossoms into this beautiful thing. So I trust that is what's happening for each and every one of you, each and every one of us out here that are doing the dance, All right. One last note on the clarity guide, the relationship clarity guide, is I did not use AI for those questions. So I just want to make it really clear that is an AI-free zone. Those questions are original questions, all right? And so I feel in this day and age, it matters to say that for those who care about that. So, all right, friends, that's it. I will be seeing you very, very soon. And I hope you all have just a wonderful, blessed, and beautiful day or evening, wherever this meets you. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.